The rest of the Chicago Bears team reported to Halas Hall today, and training camp starts tomorrow. You guys know I don't like wasting any time, so let's jump right into the video. First off, the Chicago Bears just finished up a press conference a few hours ago with Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus. Ryan Poles refused to talk about any contract situations and any free agents they were talking to currently, but he did kind of allude to the fact that they are talking to people, but they just aren't on the same page when it comes to numbers. He says if something makes sense, it will happen, but right now, nothing is coming together, so we're just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen in that aspect. And everybody knows that the biggest weakness on the Bears is the edge rushing position, so we're going to have to wait and see if we're going to actually add anyone to help with that unit. But as far as what we currently have on the defense, just like the offense, the majority of the starters on defense are already set. Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker have the safety positions on lock. Jalen Johnson is the cornerback number 1, Tyrique Stevenson cornerback number 2, and Kyler Gordon is going to be the slot cornerback to start off the year. Eddie Jackson is coming off a season-ending injury from 2022. He really was having an amazing season, a nice bounce-back season from the previous year, had a bunch of interceptions, including a game winner in week 1. So I really hope that Eddie is at full potential this year and can bounce right back like he never left. And Jaquan Brisker, who's the strong safety, he also missed some time early last year during camp and during the preseason, so he didn't necessarily get the full development most rookies get to start out their season. So this is going to be the first time that Jaquan Brisker is fully healthy. Hopefully he can stay that way, and it's going to be amazing to watch what he can do in his second year in the Bears defense. Cornerback Jalen Johnson is in a contract season, so it is 100% a prove-it year for him. I don't think an extension is going to happen before the season starts. The Bears are going to want to see something from him and see if he's worth the money he will be asking next offseason. In 2 years as the Bears general manager, Ryan Poles has drafted 6 defensive backs, so it is imperative that Jalen Johnson establishes himself as a leader among the young men early and often. Opposite side Jalen Johnson is going to be rookie cornerback Tyrique Stevenson. Now, we don't necessarily know what we're going to get from him as he is a rookie, so all eyes are going to be on him to see what he can do against the first team. He showed out during OTAs, he showed that he has the athleticism, he is really a ball hawk, so as long as that can continue to translate in camp and into the season, it looks like the Bears have all of our cornerback positions pretty much on lock. And Kyler Gordon looked pretty good on the outside cornerback position, but the Bears really want him to be their long-term nickelback, and that's, I think, what they drafted him to be. He is extremely athletic, he has speed, he has range, he has length, and his instincts clearly got way better as the season progressed last year, so I think it's going to be pretty nice to see how much his instincts grew over the offseason and how much impact he can be in that nickel position without really being that guy that opposite teams can pick on. And like I said, we already know who the 5 starting defensive backs are going to be. We just want to see how much better the young guys have gotten, since it is a pretty young core, and how the other guys can bounce back from injury. There will be some interesting backup battles in the secondary. You have rookie Terrell Smith and you have Kindle Vildor, who probably will be battling it out for the number 4 cornerback, the first guy in case of injury or in sub packages. But you also have guys like Jalen Jones, Josh Blackwell, Greg Stroman, and a couple other guys who are going to be competing to be that main backup guy. But then there's a position open for the main backup safety and special teams ace, because the Bears let DeAndre Houston Carson walk in free agency. Ryan Poles drafted Kendall Williamson in the 7th round this year and Elijah Hicks in the 7th round last year, so they both have the opportunity to fill that gap, to fill that void as a special teams ace and possibly get playing time in the secondary should somebody get injured. So there will be a lot of things to keep an eye on in the Bears secondary, and I'm going to keep you guys updated with all of the cream that's rising to the top. Moving on to the linebacker position, we all know Edmonds and Edwards are our 2 main linebackers. Tremaine Edmonds was our big free agent signing, the biggest signing in Ryan Poles' career as Bears general manager, so you would like to see him be the main leader of the defense, the quarterback of the defense. You want to feel his presence. You want to know that he's standing out on the team. And then TJ Edwards had a really good year with Philadelphia last year, so you want to see some of that veteran leadership and those instincts to be on the Bears defense as well. But then when the Bears want to have the strong side linebacker sub package in, you're going to have a competition between Jack Sanborn and Noah Sewell. Now, obviously, Jack Sanborn balled out as a UDFA rookie last year. I think it's his position to lose, but don't sleep on Noah Sewell. If he shows something and really has a nice flash during camp and proves that he can live up to the potential, because he was a really high recruit coming out of high school, and a lot of people don't think that he quite lived up to his potential in college. But if the Bears can somehow unlock that, you never know what can happen. So that's going to be a fun battle to keep an eye on as well. Now, it's the defensive line that has the most question marks on the team. Justin Jones was announced as the starting 3 tech, and Andrew Billings is probably going to be the starting 1 tech, but that is just to start camp, because rookie Javon Dexter has every opportunity to win a starting position over either of them in either position, because he can play both. And then you also have rookie Zach Pickens as well, in the same boat as Javon. Everybody has equal opportunity to win a position during camp. Now, I will say that all 4 of them are going to play this year. They will be rotating in waves. That's how Eberflus runs his defense. They're all going to get opportunities throughout the season, but it's just a matter of who's going to rise to the top and who's going to be the main guys who are going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback, because that's what the Bears desperately need, as they lacked heavily last season. And then we also have late round draft pick Travis Bell, who is a feel-good story, but he's going to have to prove that he belongs on an NFL roster. And then we also signed Rasheem Green, who is kind of an edge, could play 3 tech, kind of a hybrid guy who he's going to have to compete for a spot on the roster as well. But he is definitely a veteran presence who is there in case the rookies aren't ready. Now moving on to the biggest question mark on the entire roster, what are the Bears gonna do at edge? Right now, as it stands, we have DeMarcus Walker, who isn't a world breaker, he isn't a game wrecker, but he is a very serviceable defensive end who can, like Rasheem Green, also can move into 3 tech in different packages or different roles. But the only other edges that we have that have made an impact in the NFL have been Trevis Gibson, who has had a massive down year last year, and Dominique Robinson, who was a project edge who started as a wide receiver in college. Now, I will say that Eberflus likes his defense to generate pressure from the interior, so I think he values the 3 tech a lot more than he values the edge like the rest of the NFL, but we still would like to have production from the edge if we want to have a good defense. I honestly like DeMarcus Walker. He is coming off as a huge Bears fan. He's a huge supporting guy. I think the fans are going to love him, but he's going to have to really show us something on the field. Trevis Gibson, he's going to have a bounce back season. Last year, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't really have much help around him, so it's a contract year for him as well. He's got to prove a lot. And then Dominique Robinson, he's going to have to prove that he can be a formidable NFL edge rusher. I don't think he's going to just shoot up out of nowhere and become a superstar, but would definitely like to have a spark and have a couple sacks this year. So right now we're holding out to see if we're gonna sign an edge rusher. It's sounding like we will, just a matter of when. But we also have a few UDFAs like DeAnthony Jones, who is kind of a fan favorite UDFA to make somewhat of an impact during camp. And then Jalen Harris is another edge. They're going to get every opportunity to show what they're worth since the position is thin. But like I said, they are UDFAs, so the expectations are not high. It's just really wishful thinking and having high hopes for a nice story there. So overall, I think the defense will be pretty good this season. We don't know how the pass rush is gonna look, but honestly, it can't be much worse than last year. The interior did get better. I think our run stopping game is going to be a little bit better this year as well. And I have high expectations for the offense this season, but overall just don't know what to expect with the defense without knowing how well the pass rush will be. But if the defense can at least be respectable and the offense is firing on all cylinders, look out NFL, the Bears are coming. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I will be bringing you guys updates and analysis as much as possible this training camp. And if you haven't already, click on my video from yesterday on what to expect to keep an eye on with the offensive side of the ball, or watch one of my previous breakdown videos, and I'll see you guys there.